Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Dex, and I know it's been some years since I've done a commentary. This coronavirus just has me extra bored. So, I thought I'd decide to make a video on Valorant. So, I've been playing Valorant the past 6 days. I got my beta key, and I've been having a lot of fun with the game. I see some potential issues with the game, and I just wanted to talk about it and hopefully cure some of my boredom. Just as a little bit of a reference point, I played games like CSGO and Overwatch. At my highest CSGO rank, I was DMG, and at my highest for Overwatch, I was Diamond. So I think I have some basis to actually think about the game and talk about it. So right off the bat, I think the biggest thing that concerns me is some of the abilities with some of the characters. Characters like Sova, Cypher, and Omen, and some of the other characters. I mean, a lot of the characters have utility in their kit, but I think that some of them take a little bit too far. The stuff that also really sticks out to me is a lot of the abilities for those characters that I just mentioned. Omen in particular, his ultimate allows him to transfer to any point of the map and teleport. And characters like Cypher, who have neutral theft, where they can kill a player and reveal the location of all the other players on the map. A lot of these just really stick out. I know I only mentioned two, but some of those abilities really stick out to me because I think they have the potential to lower the skill gap of the game. There's already a few things that contribute to this game being a little bit more casual than games like CSGO, but more serious than games like Overwatch. I think one of the main things that make this game a lot more casual than games like CS:GO is the fact that the sprays are randomly generated after the first couple bullets. I think that the maps are really 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 CT sided or defender sided, and I think that characters also die very very fast. I think it makes it easier for somebody who's more casual to kill another player who may be better because it's just all about reacting first and just being able to get your shot on them first and drag it down. You die so fucking fast in this game, and I've seen people who I know that aren't really the greatest players be able to pull off some crazy shit just by the spray pattern being randomly generated. In games like CS:GO, I mean, the spray pattern is set. It goes down and then up and then curves over to one side or the other. I think that this would be a really good approach for Valorant to do. I think it would take away from some of the casualness of the game, and it would add a whole new layer of replayability to the game. I mean, just imagine I see people shooting in a lot of 7, 8 shot bursts, and just imagine you were able to full spray a gun and be able to hit every shot just based off of knowing how the spray pattern goes. I think something like that would be really important and really cool to have in the game, but I don't really see that happening. I think that they're just going to stick with the randomized spray pattern, and I think that's okay, but I think ultimately it does make the game a little bit more casual. One of the other concerns that I legitimately have is the addition of some new characters. The set of characters we have right now is pretty small, but they're so unique that it's not really a big deal. But I think when they add new characters and how they make their kit is going to be really important. Characters like Raze to me stick out from all the other characters in the game because all of her utility is based on killing and not providing information. I think that and obviously I know that they nerfed her recently. They made her grenades take longer to get and stuff like that. You have to get 2 kills or whatever to get a free grenade. But I still have some concern with how they're going to make new characters in the future. I just either see really utility based characters being super overpowered, or I just see them adding more characters that abilities just kill. That's all they're meant to do. They're not meant to provide information, they just kill people. And I think that's kind of a dangerous route to go down with the game. But it all really depends on what they decide to add. I personally have no clue. And I'll be looking forward to seeing the characters that they bring out because it'll definitely change the meta of the game every time that they bring out a new character. So I think that's it for all the negative stuff. I want to talk about some of the things that I find interesting. And then I also want to address some of the things that I find really cool about the game. So the thing that majorly piques my interest is I'm really excited to see how this game plays at the top level. I mean, certain characters can really dominate lower ranks, like Raze. I mean, she's a straight pub stomper for now, but when there's like competitive matchmaking integrated and you're playing against people that are your same skill, I don't believe that characters like Raze are going to be very effective. I think characters like Breach, Omen, Sage, Cypher, Sova, and Phoenix are gonna be really, really top tier. I'm just interested to see like how shit's gonna play out, especially like when I mentioned characters like Sova. I mean, his dart, it provides a lot of information, but also like it can be used in a lot of different ways. It's not just like you have to peek a corner and shoot your dart. There's going to be people that are set and dedicated to just learning certain parts of the map where they're able to shoot shock darts or recon arrows, and I think it's going to end up something similar like CS:GO. Like on CS, there's obviously a bunch of like smoke spots. So you know, you go into a corner, you line your crosshair up with something, you look at a certain angle, and then you throw your smoke, and it lands on the site. Um, the thing that makes this more interesting, though, is that like his abilities can kill, and they also provide information on where the characters may be at. So just imagine like you're trying to retake a site, and Sova is, you know, playing like a long angle, ducked off behind some boxes or something. He shoots his arrow directly onto the bomb, and now he can see where everybody's at. Shit like that is going to be honestly really interesting to see, in my opinion, because I think it's going to have a really big drastic effect on the gameplay. I'm really excited to see the creativity of players and see how they're able to use those darts in ways that are really effective and really interesting, to say the least. Okay, now it's time to move on to the things that I find positive or really awesome about Valorant. Some of the things that I find really cool, well, I really like how they have the barriers in the game. Like in CS, you start at T spawn and CT spawn, and then you work your way up to the site, and then you fight. I think that like because of the barriers, the gameplay is a lot more streamlined and fast paced, and it's really good for somebody like me who has a really bad attention span. So I see people like you can go and you can just peek a corner like within the first 5 seconds of the game and already be in a gunfight. I think that that's really fun, and it introduces a little bit of a different dynamic into the game rather than just, you know, sit on the site, wait for somebody to push. You know, you can actually make like defensive pushes and stuff like that that aren't really as ridiculous as they would be in certain games like CS:GO. I also think it's really cool that some of the maps have three sites. I think that this is really cool because it's pretty common in a game like CS. I mean, like one person playing mid, two on A, two on B, 3A, 2B, stuff like that. But I think that when you add three sites into the game and not having the sites so far apart, I think it forces people to play in a different way. And I think that this is really interesting. I'm excited to see if they're going to continue bringing out maps with three sites. I know there's some with two, but I find that part of the game really interesting as well. I'm also a really big fan of the guns. I like how satisfying that they feel. Some of the guns I feel are kind of useless, kind of not. So far, I'm having a lot of fun with the shotguns. The shotguns are really fun because I primarily play Jet, so like I'm able to like fly up in the air over a smoke and shoot somebody with my shotgun. I find that really fun. I think that the Bulldog is useless. I mean, the Vandal and the Phantom are obviously like the top tier assault rifles. Those are both really fun to use. And surprisingly, like I didn't really like it at first when I first used it, but the Guardian is so fucking good. Like it's just crazy good. Like one shot headshot, first three bullets are accurate. It just feels really really satisfying to use. As far as snipers go, I really like the Marshall for like eco rounds or like the second round of a quarter. Like I think those things are really fun. The operator is a lot of fun. For some reason, I'm not as able to use the operator as good as like the op in CS:GO. I think it's taking me a little bit of time to get used to. Like people are doing a lot of different peaks that they would do in CS, so like that has me a little bit confused. But so far, I like the operator a lot. As far as pistols goes, I don't use the shorty or frenzy. I'm pretty much always choosing between the ghost and the sheriff. I really like the Ghost. It reminds me a lot of the USPS and Counter Strike, and the Sheriff also obviously reminds me of the Deagle in CS:GO. Let's see. The SMGs, I only use the Spectre. I think it's okay. The shotguns, I only use the Bucky. I don't really want to pay that much for the shotgun, so yeah. And I never use LMGs because I know that they're really good, but I just don't really see the point. So these are all the things that I find really interesting about the game, and I'm excited to see where it's going to go in the future. Some of my concerns will probably be addressed in the future. I mean, like, it's Riot Games. They're going to do something with this game, especially since they know that they're competing with CS:GO and other, like, very competitive shooters. So I'm just really interested in seeing where this game's going to go. If you enjoyed the commentary and you actually made it this far through 10 minutes of my rambling, please tell me that you want to hear more or that you don't. I know my channel is dead as fuck. It's literally been like 5 years since I made a commentary video when I used to do Call of Duty. And then it's probably been like a year or two since I uploaded like an H1Z1 montage back when I used to play that. I know my channel is dead as fuck, but quarantine has me bored. So I thought I'd just make a video. If you guys want to see more, let me know. I know my mic's not the best, but yeah. Peace out, y'all.